Well, I'm with Diane and Bob here up at Ian Canal Court. We're talking about your mum, who very sadly has passed away, but we're going to make this a very positive piece today because the reason we invite along today is to find out how, well, I've just been discovering more about her. She's touched so many lives, and I know you've flown in from Australia, especially for the funeral, which is tomorrow. Your mum, well, how do you sum her up?
Well, very difficultly, isn't it? In a few words.
I mean, she worked here, and then before she became actually living here, something, right?
Yes,
And before that, she had the Edelweiss Hotel.
She did, yes, with my dad. And my parents moved, and I moved in here in 1983. And my father died 6 years later, and we thought my mother would retire. And, of course, she didn't. She stayed for 27 years in total. Yeah. She had visits from the governors. And she worked for the British Legion for 27 years before she retired.
Yeah. So, I mean, come on. She knew so many people, and what made her that sort of special person that everyone will also be remembering now?
Well, one thing, she was just full of compassion. That was her number one. She just always wanted to... She always seen people and just wanted to help in any way she could.
She did. She didn't have office hours, did she?
She didn't have office hours. She'd never been on a course. It was just natural to her.
Yes.
She just took it in her stride, and just wanted to be there to help, and just multiple people as they stayed in here. That a lot of them had served when she first moved in. Some of the old boys had been in the First World War. That I knew originally back in 1983, 84, and then obviously later most of them had been in the Second World War. As we grew with them, I was only quite young when I was only newly married when they moved in here.
Yes.
In 1983. Yeah.
She goes to, or used to go to Australia all the time as well. At Christmas, save up her pennies.
Yes, she did. She came out for every year. And she also visited a sister for probably 50 years, back from the 60s. So she was very
her
well. Her
sister was a £10 pom in those days, wouldn't it be?
Yes, she was. And Mum didn't want to go, and my dad, they came to the Isle of Man. So and they were classed as stopovers rather than come overs. That was it. This was her home. So they didn't go anywhere, did they? They were happy here.
They were happy here.
Yeah, we were born, or you weren't born here, I was born here.
Yeah.
And, no, she didn't want to retire and move out to Australia. Wasn't on the cards for Mum. No. This was where she wanted to stay, in Ian Canal Court, where she was safe. My dad served in the RAF as well, so it was close to her heart, really, that she wanted to stay close to the Legion.
Yeah, we did talk. I talked to her about 3 years before she became unwell about retiring, and she pretty much put me in my place, and I don't think she was actually ever going to retire. I think she would have just carried on and on and on.
She retired 75 years old when she retired, eventually.
But even then she only retired on those grounds that she just wasn't well enough to continue. Even though she tried, she would have carried on. Yeah.
Well, I started this by saying she touched a lot of people's lives. I know the Legion are putting on quite a show as well tomorrow at the crematorium, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah. I think we're having 3 standard bearers, the flags as well.
And there's going to be a lot of people there, a lot of people that she has helped aren't here anymore, but a lot of the families remember her for everything she did to basically help to keep people here in their own home.
In the sheltered housing.
In the sheltered housing.
Yes.
She helped in all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
And, she really was, like I say, was a deeply caring, compassionate
She was their good neighbour, basically, and
Yeah.
nothing was too much trouble for her, ever.
And this was in the days before you had a care phone. So, in those days, if you were on your own and you were single, she'd knock on your door every day, make sure you were okay. And see what you needed, see what she could do.
She was tea and biscuits around here, I believe, all the time, wasn't she, as well?
Yes, she was. Any workmen, gardeners, window cleaners, all had a cuppa.
Yeah, she's very well known.
Are you kind of is it uplifting to know that she touched so many people's lives.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, very
yeah.
much,
Yeah.
and more so probably in the last 6 months, 'cause the amount of support that the families had from
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
And it just goes to show, here at Ian Cannell Court today, we just arrived at lunchtime, and the warden and several of the residents have already got the room ready for tomorrow for us. We haven't even had to look for the tablecloths or the glasses. Everything's all washed, ready for us.
Yeah.
The flowers are ordered. Literally, we just have to arrive here tomorrow, and everything's been done for us. One big happy family.
I'm sure everyone knows about the time, but if there's anyone just catching this now who wants to go, what time at the crematorium?
It's 11:30 tomorrow, and then later we're coming back here to Ian Cannell Court.
To
so there's just
celebrate.
gonna be
Celebrate her
celebration.
life.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see her go in style for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
And give her the best send-off
we
that we can,
Yeah.
won't we?
Yeah, we will. Yeah.